the word, voice for the good, voice of the hope, for the well-being, voice of the world, TV.
VWTV, ang telebisyon nga may misyon.
Voice of the world, TV.
Good day, everyone. Welcome to our program, Lima Gatos, Katuig, Pagtoo, 500 Years of Faith, in celebration of the 500 years of Christianity that the Spaniards brought to our island as 500 years ago. Adi nangahaw kita atong programa, 500 Years of Faith, nga ipapasigit ang atong pag-istorya, hiunong ang social doctrine of the church. No? Ano ba ini nga social doctrine of the church? Well, basically, in summary, we said that the social doctrine of the church inasiring nga atong Ginoo aadaha aton kaupod tahiya hit nga tanan nga mga panhitabo hit atong kinabuhi dinha kalibutan, especially in society where we live with other people, no? Kay bilang mga tawo diri kita naokoy nga nag-uusaan, no? No man is an island or no woman is an island. We have all been created to commune, nga magkatitiro, magkaurupod, to be together as one family, as children of God, mga anak hit atong Ginoo. So, at the heart of the social doctrine is the idea that God is present in others, and that we are our brothers and sisters keepers. So asya aton kinahanglan maintindihan, mahinumduman nga dida ini nga social doctrine hiunong hit present siya hit atong Ginoo din hit kada usaha aton nga magburugto kita nga tanan, and we are here to look after each other. Di kita kalibutan para maggipuro panginano hit kada usa, no? To be there for one another, to be our brothers and sisters keeper, no? So in Catholic teachings, a special emphasis is placed on our responsibilities to help the most vulnerable of our neighbors. And aton Ginoo it aton pinakamaupay nga ehemplo hit pagbulig hit aton ikasitawo, labi na ang sinisiring ni Pope Francis nga yada hit laylayan those in the peripheries, no? The lost, the last, the least. That's what characterizes a Christian. Siring atin hit aton Ginoo, people will know that you are my disciples if you love one another. Kung nagigihigugma ay kamo, kung hinihigugma ni mitinig ka sa tao. Yan ito nga paghigugma ay pinapakita tahin aton pagserbisyo hit aton ka sa tao. Maupay, inungod-ungod, nga kinasingkasing nga pagserbisyo nga hit aton ka sa tao. And especially, no? Yung sinisiring naton, the lost, the last, and the least. Kay, di ba, ang siring ni Jesus, whatever you do to the least of your brethren, you do it unto me. Kung ano't aton gimbubuhat, nga dahan mga pobres, and mga kablas, and mga waratingog, mga tawo, nga yadahit, periphery, laylayan, you do it to me. Here, aalit atong Ginoo hit kada usaha ira. So here are some of the main concepts behind the Catholic social tradition or social doctrine, and why we do the work we do, no, as Catholics, no, who are followers of our Lord. So the first main concept hining a social doctrine of the church is the concept of life and dignity of the human person. Nga kada usa ka aton anya kalibutan, dara kay katungod ta nga umukoy din ha kalibutan ngan kada usa ka aton may ada dignidad, because each one has been made in the image and likeness of God. Kada usa ka aton ginhimo na pareho hit aton Ginoo asya nga may ada naton dignidad kay kamatuoran we are God is in each one of us. God is in each one of us. His saringanan usa nga saint, Saint Josemaria. No, we have to see God's blood running in the veins of every person because we have all been saved, no, by the body and blood of Christ. Namatay hiya didahang krus, kinaniya kalibutan para talwason kita. Ngan nagpakasakit niya namatay didahang krus para matalwas kita, para magdipayon and kalipayan nga iya hinahatag haaton din ha kalibutan, mawarahing katapusan nga kalipayan, no? The joy and happiness kay bisan yan ang ani pa kita kalibutan ginpapahalipay na kita atong Ginoo, pero diri hiya na tugdidahin temporary nga happiness, it iya karuyag nga atong kalipayan, it waray katapusan, and that's the happiness that we will all have and that we will all enjoy in heaven, our final home, our final destination. So the Catholic Church proclaims that human life is sacred, and that the dignity of the human person is the foundation of a moral society. No, kada kinabuhi tawo sagrado. Sagrado, salit diri ta angay pag-uyasan, diri ta angay paghibangon. Okay? Sagrado, every life of the life of every human life is sacred, sagrado, baraan. And the human person is the foundation of a moral society. Society should focus, on the person, on the human person. The man, should not be sacrificed at the altar of development, for example. Kung karuyag ta pagpakuupayon aton sular, aton focus aadahit tawo nga at binubuligan nga maging nga upahiya diri adahit lugar papakaupayan ta lugar, pero pagpapaiwason ta mga naupoy di dahit hagrani nga di ta tataganhin maupay nga himumutangan, no? If we are going to develop, for example a certain place, kinahanglan ta mamuludhin puno kay tatayuan tahin building. Well, the first thing to ask, kinahanglan ba putulon nga mga puno? Kasi yan na aton trend because of the global warming nga tanang kita nagsasuffer, no? Ini nga babaha din aton probinsya usa na ito niya effect global warming ngan hit pag-abuso hit aton environment, hit aton natural resources. So una nga papakiana ha aton kinahanglan ba magputulin puno. Kaya na may ada ta na mga innovative ways, no, of building houses that are built on nature nga diri na kinahanglan hibangon it aton environment. Kung magpuputol man hin puno, mga diri na damo it kinahanglan pag-utdon nga mga puno. So that's one example, no? That's one example of putting the human person at the center of development. At the center of development. Hiya angay nga naton focus, makakabulig ba ini hit katawhan? Makakabulig ba ito hit katawhan? Ini nga aton pag-develop, aton pagpakaupay. Hit aton sosyedad, hit aton community. This belief, no, that the human person is the foundation of a moral society and that human life is sacred, it is the foundation of all of the principles of our social teaching. No? So this is the heart of the social doctrine of the church. We believe that every person is precious. Kada usa nga tawo, presyoso. priceless, no? Dara kay kada usa ka aton is valuable, is worthy. Each one of us is wonderfully made by God, no? And each one of us has been made by God and wonderfully made by God. And that's what makes us precious. Kaya nga tanan kita, ginhimo hang Ginoo. Nga tanan kita, tikang hit Ginoo. Nga tanan kita, tipakadto hit Ginoo. So, people are more important than things. If mga tao mas importante kontra hit mga butang. We should always remember this. So that's the heart of the social doctrine of the church. So kung may ada taman angay protektaran, itawo it atong protektaran dirit mga butang, dirit mga butang. Kay ini nga mga butang ihinatag lain haaton hanaton Ginoo. Nga tanan nga ni intigang hit aton Ginoo, ihinatag niya pagbulig haaton. No? They should be used, all of these things, material things, resources, should be used to serve man para magmaupay iti pag-ukoy din ha kalibutan, no? And the measure of every institution is whether it threatens or enhances the life and dignity of the human person. Yan na, it has been there, no, for some time. May tinatawag na human index. Dati, well, there are many ways of measuring, no, kung ito sa nga country, progressive, o sa nga lugar, progressive. We would normally measure that development, success, by the gross domestic product, something that I learned when I was still in the elementary. So gross domestic product, kung pira aton karikuhan, no? It aton pangita. That's how we would normally measure kung riko it aton nasod. We know that we are not rich. We are still a third world country, still a developing country. Kunta ma-develop na kita, no? If we are developing kunta nahilalakat kita nga ret ungod nga development. But may ada taliwat, may babaruan nga tinatawag nila nga gross domestic happiness. So it karikuhan, it usa nga nasod or usa nga bungto or community is measured by how happy the people are. Dire kariko, hindi rin kariko dire tira lugar, kundi kun malipayon it mga tawo nga nangungukoy din hini nga lugar. So that's a true measure, no? Hit success of a community, yan hit ungod nga karikuhan hit sa nga community, kun it mga tawo malipayon, kun it mga tawo kontento, kun it mga tawo they feel safe and are happy in their community, in their country. So that's a gross domestic happiness index, no, that many countries now use, no, and they're not even Catholic countries, no, pero the principle is the same. When we put man at the center of development, then malilipay niya. And isn't that what we want? Nga maging malipayon kita nga tanan. And then solidarity, another principle, hini nga aton tinatawag nga social doctrine of the church. We are one human family. Uusala kita nga pamilya. Whatever our national, racial, ethnic, economic, and ideological differences, we are brothers and sisters, keepers, no? Wherever they may be, we are called to love thy neighbor. At the core of the virtue of solidarity is the pursuit of justice and peace. Kaya kung hinihigugma tayo ato ni kasi tao, we will be just to one another. Hindi tayo manglalamang sa kapwa. Diri kita magdadarahog hit ato ni kasitawo. Diri kita magpapakaraot hit ato ni kasitawo. Lugod, magbuburoblig kita. Lilipay kita nga tanan. And may ada hustisya din hit katon. inuukyan. Kay dire kita magdadarahog, magpapakaraot, maghihibang itaton ni kasitawo. Nga kung sugar itaton pag-ukoy, syempre, malipayon, will be happy and peaceful, no? May ada kamurayaw dire aton community, it aton society, it aton nasod, nga bugos nga kalibutan. So that's solidarity. We're all in here together, no? No one left behind. We're here to love and support and help one another. Okay? Dire kita anhi para araway, para maghibang itaton ni sa tao. Anhi kita hakalibutan nga naguukoy kita as brothers and sisters nga magburugto nga nagigipuro Panginano hit kada usa nga nagbuburuglig in oras it kakurian nga naglilipay, nagrarayhak in oras sin kalipayan. That's what the family is, and that's what solidarity is in society. So, okay, number one, important concepts of the social doctrine of the church. Number one, life and dignity of the human person. Number two, solidarity. And then, the third one, ni katulo, nga importante nga principle, hini nga social doctrine of the church, is option for the poor and vulnerable. Ano ba ini nga? Option for the poor and the vulnerable. So, a basic moral test is how our most vulnerable members are faring in a society marred by deepening divisions between the rich and the poor. Our tradition recalls the story of the Last Judgment and instructs us to put the needs of the poor and vulnerable first. Okay, so we're repeating for emphasis, no? Han kay Pope Francis haaton ayat nga panginanuhon ta it mga tawo nga laylayan, those in the periphery, to look after them because they are the poor and the vulnerable. Mga tawo nga waray tingog, waray kapas, waray puder, no? Nga they are not listened to, they are not heard, they are not even seen, they are ignored. So nasa nga natong Ginoo, panginanuha tahira, panginanuha tahira. Yani kita, kung may ada ta mga kapas, kakayahan, resources, gamiton ta iton, pagbulig kita aton ikasitao. Kung may ada ta mga talento, aram, no, skills, no, gamiton ta iton, pagbulig hit aton ikasitawo. Kaya nga tanan man ini, tikang hit aton Ginoo. And He gave them to us, not only for our own personal enjoyment, not only for our own personal pleasure, not only for our own personal use or need, pero ihinatag ini nga aton yung tanan, ini nga aton kapas, ini nga aton karikuhan, ini nga aton aram, ini nga aton mga posisyon and possessions, no? Ipinaangbit iniya haaton para ipaangbit taliwat it iba. Ipaangbit taliwat it iba. And let's not worry when we give, when we share our resources and our talents and our skills with others. Kay it atong Ginoo will never be outdone in generosity. No, He will never be outdone in generosity. Kung kita mabuligon, mas mabuligon pa hiya. Mas mabuligon pa hiya. Salit, ayaw kahulog nga at ipanhahatag ko pa, ano na light ako, nit amon pamilya. God will give you more, no? God is never outdone in generosity. And He loves a cheerful giver. Sa ring Padre Bible, God loves a cheerful giver. Kung kinasingkasing it aton paghatag, pagpaangbit, pagbulig, pag-ugop, it aton ikasitawo, malilipay it aton Ginoo. And He will make us happy. And that's all that matters, really. You know, you can earn so much. Pwede gidadamoy tim sa napi, pwede girarekuhi ka, pwede gipupudirosuhi ka, kinahadlukan kahit mga tao, kay urarat yung puder, dire ka pwede nira dire sundon nga tanan tim karuhi ag susundon. Pero damay sugalit nga mga tao nga dire pa kontento, itira kinabuhi, and they keep on hoarding and acquiring more money, more power, pero waray kakontentuhan salit dire hira malipayon. Ini nga aton nga ni sugalit din aton society, ini nga we can give us an example, yung poder, no? Nga dire nakukontento ito usa nga pamilya, usa nga member at pamilya, kumapot yung poder, ipapasapasa gud iton nga dahil bugto it anak it asawa, hinupa dira basta puro kapamilya la nira ipapasapasa because they want to keep the power within the family. Usa it nga nagpapakita hin kawaray kakontentuhan. Nagpapakita nga ini nga mga tao diri ungod nga maglipayon kay waray nira ka kontentuhan, diri na ko kontentuhin, you know, hin pag-angbit, hin itira poder ngadto iba nga tao bisan kun it nga poder hinuram lan iton kay nga tanan man it butang dinhi kalibutan hinuram pati it aton kinabuhi hinuram la. Alright, so that's the option for the poor and vulnerable. Ayaw ta hirahingalimti. Let's always keep them in our hearts and in our minds, no? We should always be there, ready to help. Yan in nga pagbulig dire lahin pang malitit butos nira kay danay na pipiritan magbalighet butos kay wala man iba na pangita, no? Kundi pagbulig nga magmaupay hira, papangiskoy lahunta, makapangiskoy lahira, makapanarabahuhin maupay, yan magmaupay tira kinabuhi. So that should be the kind of help that we give them, na maghinga upay hira. Dirihin pag, okay, ginugutom ka, sige tatagan tayo ikaw bugas o pagkaon. A wise man said, no, that the best way to help the poor is not to give them fish. Diri paghatag lahin hin isda, no, because for one day, usa ka adlaw may nara pangangaunon, but they will be hungry for the rest of their lives. Paano na buwas, ang burong buwas? Kung usala nga isda ni hinatag ha, irabangin bangani diri magkasya, no? Diri pa umusa ha, era kung dako ira nga pamilya. So what's the best way to help the poor? If you give them fish, a wise man said, they will have food for the day. But if you give them a fishing rod, they will have food for the rest of their life. Kung tatagan ng hirahin kawil, which means na tututuan ng hibabaro hirahin pangawil, hibabaro hirahin panalinguha, hibabaro hirahin pagpakabuhi on their own, then you give them food for the rest of their life. So that's the kind of help that we should give the poor. Hikita nga mga pobre, ayaw kita kakontento nga pananataan during election. Ayaw ka kontento nga pananagan hin mga, I don't know, pira ka kilo nga bugas, nga dilata, pira nga dilata, nga salmon, o what, kung ano pa man dida. Ayaw ka kontento. Kay you will have food habang may ada iton, pero what about tomorrow and the days after? Yung maubos na it. Kaya imus ka kilo, duha, 5 ka kilo nga bugas. And yung mga sardinas, kung maubos na it, ano nagpangangaunon? Gutom na daman. So ayaw kita ka kontento it sugalit nga klase nga pagbulig. Kinahanglan it pagbulig, itungod nga pagbulig nga mabubuligyan kita magmainuswagon. Okay? And education, no? Tried and tested. It's the key out of poverty. Okay, and then another important concept of the social doctrine of the church is called to family, community, and participation. So ano ini? The person is not only sacred but also social. Ang mananagsinis rin kanina nga itawo, diri na ako'y mag-uusaan la. Because no man or woman is an island. No? How we organize our society directly affects human dignity and the capacity of individuals to grow in community. We believe that people have a right and a duty to participate in society, seeking together that common good and well-being of all, especially the poor and vulnerable. So we are called to commune. We are called to family, to community, and to participation. So kinahanglan igbubulig kita hit mga desisyon din hit aton community, hit aton probinsya, hit aton bungtod, hit aton probinsya, hit aton nasod. Labi na kung nakaka-apekto hiraha aton, kung nakaka-apekto hiraha aton. So diri pwede it aton mga lawmakers, it aton mga leaders, kung ano let ira mga maplano, mapagkunahunaan, asya na it, wala tanit mabubuhat, kundi sumunod. Kinahanglan kung magpaplano hira para hit kaupayan, hit komunidad, kukonsultahon kita. No? Because we have the right to participate, especially in matters that affect us. In matters that affect us. I remember many years ago, more than 10 years ago, less than 20, but more than 10 years ago. Anyway, may mahahatag ko nga example, and nagamadahin plebiscite ba ito kung it Borongan himuon nga city. No? There were those who opposed it because they saw that dire parati ang Borongan and probinsya nga maging city and Borongan. May adaliwat mga pabor kay pagkulaw nira magkakamayadahin kaupayan, more development, dinhihit Borongan as a city and dinhit aton probinsya. But so that was may ana debate, and that's very good because it's how it should be. Nag-iistorya kita, okay? Nagdaog ang city, no? Nagdaog, and now we have Borongan City. And we see damo ang kaupayan nga nahihatag hiton. No? So bisan kung diri nga tanan, no, aton sisigon matutuman, because there will be people, no, with different people will always have different views. Diri nga permi papreho aton mga pinanuhuna-hunaan, pero ginirestoryahan, and then we learn from that. Kung hikita nagdaog, well and good, ang aton ideas, asya nasunod, pero kung napirdi ang aton proposition and aton ideas and aton suggestions, okay la, we will learn from that experience. And a lesson of life is that we will not always have the last say, no? And it's part of humility to accept that others have better ideas than we have. All right? Sorry. And then the last concept of the social doctrine of the church. Hi, thank you. This is some lukewarm water. So, nakabulig because my throat was getting dry. So, and the last important concept of the social doctrine of the church is our rights and responsibilities. Very important. Nga dira la puro right. Kundi responsibilities, duties, and responsibilities, they come together. Kaya rights, mga karapatan, will not mean anything kung waray mga responsibilities, no? So, the Catholic tradition teaches that human dignity can be protected and a healthy community can be achieved only if human rights are protected and responsibilities met. No? Kung pinoprotektahan karapatang pantao, human rights, citizens of every community, of every country and nation, then magkakamayadahin, then didata maipapakita aton pagrespeto hit dignidad hit kada usa nga tawo. Therefore, and responsibilities, no? Kay dida hit luyo hit mga rights are obligations. Rights and obligations, they are like the two sides of the same coin. You cannot have one side without the other side. Okay, so rights, responsibilities. Therefore, every person has a right to life and a right to those things required for human decency. Corresponding to these rights are duties and responsibilities to one another, to our families, and to the larger society. So let's not forget, Dire la pwede la. Right, right, right. My human rights, okay? My right to life, my right to free expression. But what about the right of the other persons living in society, in our families, in society, and in the world? Diba? Mas ka may right to free expression. Salit igsusurat ko dira sa Facebook nga tanan, karoy igsurat. Pero dili din mga sinurat, may ni mga nasagasaan na in the sense na you were not sensitive to the feelings of other people. You hurt the feelings and the sensitivities of other people. So, you have been irresponsible in the use of your rights. Okay? So, kinahanglan, kung kita ma-demand hit aton rights, una-una at daman, it rights it ibang tao. So, that's a duty. There's a duty and a responsibility on our part to use our rights responsibly. There's a duty on our part to use our rights responsibly. All right, so these are the important concepts of the social doctrine of the church. Let me repeat: life and dignity of the human person, solidarity, option for the poor and vulnerable, call to family, community, and participation, and rights and responsibilities. So thank you once again for watching our program, Lima Gatos, Katuig, Pagtoo of 500 years of faith, in celebration of the 500 years of Christianity that the Spaniards brought to our islands 500 years ago. Bye everyone, and see you next time. Thank you.